Hello, and welcome to Rakesh Dhareshwar Photography YouTube channel. In the last video, we got introduced to our friend, the histogram. In this video, we are going to try and decode how to use the histogram in post processing. So, without wasting any further time, let's just dive in. So, let's just understand the use of histogram in post processing. Now, exposure, when you change in different softwares, there are only 5 or 6 different sliders which you normally use. So that's exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. These are the exact sliders which are there under the light panel in Adobe Photoshop Camera Raw. Similar is the case with Adobe Lightroom Classic. It is under the panel called Tone. You have exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. Now, when it comes to Affinity 3, it's slightly different. There are two different panels. There is exposure panel, which controls exposure, black point, and brightness. Black point is nothing but black. Brightness is nothing but white. And then there is the shadows and highlights panel. The contrast in Affinity is in the enhance panel. So let's see how the histogram in any of the softwares actually, represent an underexposed image. Now this is the histogram. The x-axis will show you the tones or the luminosity, and the y-axis will show you the number of pixels within those tones. This is one of the representation. Here when I look at this in particular, I see a space which is empty. It means that there is no pixels which are beyond highlights. If you come to the left, you see there is a huge number of pixels. It starts somewhere not below on the x-axis, but somewhere on the y-axis. It means that this image is underexposed. And there are some runaway pixels which have gone beyond zero to the left, something like so. Probably that, it's kind of gone beyond zero, and that is why it is not captured within the histogram. So, how do we correct for this? Because there is space here on the right side, we want all the pixels to move to the right so that we get the correct exposure finally, and we use the exposure slider basically by ensuring that we add a positive compensation. So we move the slider to the right, and this whole uh, you know t- tone graph will actually move to the right, something like so. So it will come to the right, you stop at 255, and here we have a perfect image, within 0 to 255, perfectly exposed, and we corrected the underexposure. This is because there was free space on the right for all the tones to move. Now, what happens when we look at a underexposed image in an histogram, right? Here it is underexposed. We see that there is a bit of clipping. It means that there are some pixels which are to the left, but our problem is that the right of the image is already at 255 or close. Now, I just want the blacks to actually move to the right. So what do? I use basically the black slider, black point slider in Affinity, blacks in Lightroom Classic or Photoshop, and I apply a positive compensation. What it will do is it will just move these black points and kind of ensure that it comes, within 0 to 255 without having any effect on the midtones or a very, very slight effect on the midtones and on the whites. So that is how we correct an underexposed image when we do not have any space on the right side of the histo. Now let's come to the overexposed image. In the overexposed image, it's exactly the opposite. We have space on the left, but here is somewhere we've kind of clipped The whites, it's gone beyond the histogram or it's gone beyond 255, and hence we use the exposure slider to move everything to the left. Similar to what we saw in the underexposed histogram, where we use the exposure slider to actually move to the right. This is exactly what the exposure slider will do when we have a minus compensation um, or a minus value, or we move the slider to the left. Coming to an overexposed image, when we see there is no space to move at the black side, it's completely, the pixels are just at about zero, and we need to correct for the right side here. Then what do? We basically use the whites or the brightness slider to kind of move, just this part into the histogram, into the gamut of luminosity, so that there are no clipped highlights as such. Now, what happens when we have a histogram which is fairly okay? There is some space here, some space here, and we see the image at that point in time, and then we kind of understand if we still need some shadows, details to be taken out, or some highlight details which we would want. Then we use the shadow slider to increase or decrease the brightness in this area, which is just beyond this black, right? We use this space to kind of increase or decrease the brightness, or we use the highlight slider, and or actually we use the highlight slider to increase or decrease the brightness in the areas that are just within the white point. The other thing is contrast. Now, there are images which kind of look washed out, or there is not much of contrast going on. What does contrast actually do? Contrast, if you increase the contrast, it will increase the brightness of the pixels which are right of the midtone, and it will make it even more brighter. At the same time, it will also ensure that the pixels or the tones of the pixels which are to the left of the midtones, it will make it even darker, right? It will decrease the brightness, and hence we will get a contrast. The difference between the whites and the blacks in the image will be much much higher, and you can see a very good contrast in the image. Now, what happens if we do the reverse? If we kind of decrease the contrast, what it will do is basically it will use all of these pixels and move it, you know the pixels, it will make it darker, and the dark pixels, it will make it brighter. So what that does is almost everything comes into the midtone, and we see something which does not have a lot of contrast. But then why is it there? Why do we decrease contrast? There are some images which we take which are extremely contrasty, and we would like to kind of reduce the contrast in the image, and that is where we kind of decrease the contrast. So this was the theory of using histogram in the post processing. In the next videos, we'll see a live example of how to use it in all the three softwares: Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom Classic, and Affinity 3. Now, one word of caution: getting back this detail is best from a raw file. The other files will not have the data for you to actually bring back the details. So if you're using a TIFF or a JPEG, the range of these tones in terms of data which is there in these files is too low for you to kind of play a lot. And that is the reason I always say shoot raw.